Alright, welcome back to SnowRunner, everybody. I know I've been gone for a couple days. It's just been a hectic Christmas. I'm sure you all know how that is. But either way, we're back. I just haven't really had any chance to record the past couple days. It's just been crazy. I had some time tonight. I did not feel like dragging my wheel out, though, so this is just going to be a normal episode. It may be a little longer than usual. I don't know that we'll go for a whole hour, but, you know, maybe 45 minutes or so. But we're just gonna chill and get some of these tasks done. So it's definitely been a while since I've played, for sure. At least like 5 days, 6 days since I've played SnowRunner at all. Even Spider-Man, because I really only play these games when I record right now, just because obviously SnowRunner I'm only just doing this save file right now, so I don't have any other thing to record. Let me see where I need to go here first. I just need to follow the road. Yep. But yeah, so I don't really play. There was a time where I was playing SnowRunner just off camera or off recording, whatever you want to call it. On my other save file, but since I've been playing some other games, just, you know, that was before I had started like just hunting platinums just off, like while I'm not recording, and things that I don't want to put on the channel, just, you know, doing that, like what I've been doing with Assassin's Creed. So yeah, so that's kind of that. And then with Spider-Man, obviously that's one of my platinum trophy series that I'm currently working on, so I'm not going to play that without recording it. I have played games the past, you know, in the past week or so, like at night and stuff, but it's been so late every night that like I wasn't in the mood to record. I definitely wasn't in the mood to drag my wheel all the way upstairs out of the basement. You know, my living room is just full of stuff from Christmas, and I have 2 kids. It's just crazy. So it was nice. It was honestly kind of nice to take a little break from it all, though, because not that it's like necessarily hard work to like record these videos and then, you know, upload them and whatever. It's very simple. I just, you know, start the recording, play the game for 30 minutes to an hour, and talk during it. Like, it's not like it's super complicated. But it's just, you know, it takes time to do it, and then there's just time sometimes, like, you know, being around children all day on Christmas, like, you know, my children, my nieces and nephews, it's just, it just is mentally exhausting. So when I did come home, you know, wife and I watched TV, watched a movie, whatever, and then, you know, she went to bed. And at that point, it was like 11:30 at night. I wasn't going to record anything. I was just going to chill, play some Assassin's Creed for an hour or so, and then go to bed myself. So that's just kind of how it went the past couple days. Nothing really exciting. Just, you know, busy, running around, just tired. Man, why am I getting stuck so much? It never happens. I guess this truck doesn't do the best when you're towing a trailer. It's probably what it is. I am still going the right way, correct? Yes. Okay. But yeah, so, you know, let's talk about some things, some Christmas things. My wife... Well, I got my wife a... Well, we always do this. We always say, you know, we don't need to get any gifts for each other. Like, it's not a big deal. We're not worried about it. You know, we kind of buy things for ourselves just throughout the year, so it's not really important to us, at least. But, you know, it is still nice to have something to open, so... And, I wanted to get my wife something, and I have a credit account with a jewelry store. It's just like a store credit card, and I've had it for years, but I haven't used it in years, and I got a email saying they were going to close my account if I didn't use it. And I don't really want to lose that credit account just because it has a pretty high limit, and it just helps my overall credit to debt ratio, I guess you could say. So like if I would lose that credit account, you know, it would drop off a couple $1,000s from my total credit allowance, and then that's going to increase my total credit usage because I'm basically losing those thousands of dollars of credit allowance. So it's just going to, it would make my credit score go down essentially. And I didn't really want that. So, and my wife has, obviously she has her wedding band, her engagement ring, and then she has an emerald cut aquamarine for our oldest son. Aquamarine is March's birthstone, so that's his birth month. And you know, she doesn't have one for our youngest son, and she's wanted one, and he's born in February, so his is amethyst. And she had been looking around because she wanted to just have them, like, basically combine them into 2 rings, even though she's still gonna wear the other amethyst ring other aquamarine ring that she had. But I don't know, I was looking because I was like, I need to try to find her at least something so I can keep this credit account open. And I stumbled upon this birthstone ring where you could pick 2 birthstones, and it was also surrounded by diamonds. It was like 40% off. It was a really good price for what the ring was. 14 karat gold, and with the gemstones, they're all real gemstones, even the diamonds. So yeah, so I bought it, and that was her gift. She loves it. She was so excited about it. Like, I don't know, she wasn't expecting it at all. So that was a really good thing for me. She got me a Raven shirt, an F1 hat and shirt, both Red Bull, which are really cool. The Red Bull shirt is like the shirt that like the crews wear, where it has like all their sponsors all over it, and it's like a polyester type shirt. It's really nice. I'm actually wearing it right now. And then she got me a Red Bull hat, all just plain branded. I don't really care too much about the drivers specifically in F1. I mean, I do like Max Verstappen, and Checo, Sergio Perez, he's obviously he's technically the one that I, you know, like, I would say is my favorite of the 2. I just like Checo. I don't know why. I mean, obviously Max is good. He wins all the time, but I don't know. We started watching F1, and the only reason I chose Red Bull is just because I like Red Bull. Like, I like the drink. I don't know. I've always liked the taste. And I don't drink Red Bull a lot, but when I do, like, you know, I always enjoy it. So that's the only reason I picked Red Bull. And, you know, I've always been a big fan of, like, action sports, and Red Bull has always been in, like, the action sports scene. So it just makes sense to me. And I didn't even really know much about Red Bull. I didn't know they were winning. Like, I didn't know they, you know, had won last year, and then they won this past year. Max won again this year. So I didn't really pick them because they were the best. That wasn't the thing. But some people may think I did, and that's fine. If you think that, whatever. I'm not going to change your mind. But anyway, and then she got me like a cordless, like, battery powered Shark, like, stick vacuum, which is a necessity in this house because we do have a you know, normal, like, upright Shark vacuum, and the thing's great. Like, it works wonderful. It's just big and bulky, and it's heavy, and, like, we basically have to vacuum every single day because our youngest just gets, you know, crumbs everywhere. If something falls on the floor, he just has to step on it and smash it into the carpet. So, like, we pretty much have to vacuum every day. So it's definitely nice. I've used it almost every day since I've gotten it, so that's, you know, a plus, I guess. But yeah, so, you know, it's just simple things like that for us. We don't care that much. And then obviously our boys had a bunch of stuff to open, and then their big gift, which is in 27 days, we are leaving for a cruise. And my oldest is, like, over the moon excited. Like, he had no idea. We've had this surprise for like 4 or 5 months now, and, you know, he did not know at all. Like, we've been talking about it, like, when he's around, like, even when we're in the car going somewhere, we've been talking about it, but we've been, like, talking in code, and, like, he never picked up on it. So that's pretty cool. It's a big surprise for them. I mean, our youngest is excited too, but I don't think he really totally understands. And he's not even really going to remember the trip anyway. I mean, he'll turn 3 like literally the week we get home from the cruise. But like, I mean, think about it. You don't really remember stuff from when you were 2 and 3 years old. So like, he's not really going to remember it. And we took my oldest to Disney World around the same age that his little brother is right now, and he doesn't remember that trip at all. So I don't expect him to remember it. It's not really, you know, it's not really important though. We'll remember it, and his older brother will remember it, and we'll be able to have pictures and all kinds of other things. And then when he gets older, obviously we'll go on another cruise, and he'll get to, make his memories and remember that one. So yeah, but they're gonna love it. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited. My wife's excited. So yeah, it is a Disney cruise too, so it's gonna be cool. We're big Disney fans though, and we were originally looking at like a Royal Caribbean, and because you can get a 7-night on a Royal Caribbean for, way cheaper than you can get a 5-night on Disney, but we just figured the kids, it's a Disney cruise is just, it's going to be so much better for them. I mean, I know Royal Caribbean has plenty of kids activities and everything, but I don't know. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like Disney, but you really can't beat Disney when it comes to their like hospitality and customer service. They're just the best in the business. That's why other businesses model their service and hospitality around what Disney does, because it's just Disney has it done right. And honestly, I've used a lot of Disney's practices in my own way when I was a manager and in customer service. I mean, if a customer or a guest asks you a question and you don't know the answer, you should never say, I don't know. You should always say, I will find out for you. Just give me a moment and I will be right back. And then, find out and come back and let them know. You should never, ever, ever tell a customer in customer service that you don't know and that you can't help them, because you work there. You can find someone that knows the answer and can get them help. So, something I always told my employees too. If you don't know the answer, say, I do not know, but I will find out for you and I will be right back. And then they do, and they go back and everything's cool. So, that's just my little piece of advice for you. But Disney's just great at that. So, but I don't know. We got a good deal on this cruise, so it worked out. My wife and I have only ever been on one other cruise, and it was a Disney cruise, but that was our honeymoon, so we didn't have any kids. It was glorious. And I know people say, like, Disney ships are, there's a whole bunch of kids riding around, but honestly, there's a lot of adults, and there's a lot of just, adults that just come without kids. Like, it doesn't have anything to do with, there's plenty of stuff to do as an adult on a Disney cruise. They have a whole adults only section that's like bars and whatever else. I mean, they don't have casinos on their ships, and smoking areas are very limited, but I think that's pretty much the case for all cruise ships now. I don't even think you can, well, I don't know. Maybe with the cruise ships where you have casinos, I think you can smoke in the casinos, which is crazy because you almost can't smoke anywhere indoors anymore. Like, it's pretty much been banned everywhere. Like, it's against the law to smoke indoors. Although in Pennsylvania, I don't live in Pennsylvania, but I'm very close to Pennsylvania. I could be in Pennsylvania in less than 5 minutes. My parents live in Pennsylvania. But in Pennsylvania, I believe, it's been a long time since I've been to a bar in Pennsylvania, so I'm not 100% sure. But in Pennsylvania, whenever the law changed to where you couldn't smoke in like bars and restaurants anymore, the law was that it all depended on the amount of food that the establishment served. So if the restaurant, I don't know like the classes. I know restaurants have like classes for things, for like sanitary and hygiene and food service and food safety stuff. There's like different classes, and it all depends on, you know, the amount of food your establishment serves, what kind of food your establishment serves, like things like that, how the food is prepared, all that. That all goes into what like class rating you are as an establishment that serves food. But in Pennsylvania, in bars, at least in most of the bars in the town that I grew up in, none of them served more than just like normal bar type food, like finger type food, like, you know, pretzels and like French fries, like things like that. So like you could still smoke in those bars. Like it was acceptable and it was perfectly allowed, and people did. So I don't know if that's changed. It may have changed because it's, like I said, it's been probably 10 years since I've been in a Pennsylvania bar. Okay, that needs to saddle low. I just have to visit these places. Visit the area near the North Lake and visit the area near the South Lake. Well, I'm at the freaking South Lake, of course. Alright, well, let's... Okay. But yeah, it was a good it was a good Christmas. I had a lot of fun just, you know, hanging out with family and whatever else. New Year's Eve is gonna be fun. We're going to my parents, and I'm just gonna let the kids stay up as late as they want, because last year we tried this and tried to put them to bed and they wouldn't go to bed, and I ended up falling asleep in the room they were in at my parents' house and missed all of the New Year's stuff. So I'm not doing that this year. I'm just gonna let them stay up, and I don't know, they'll figure it out. That's what I did growing up. I remember going to New Year's Eve parties with my parents, and we would all just like play video games, like all the kids that were there. Well, it was really mainly my parents would go to like one of their friends' house when we were all younger, and they had 2 kids. Although their kids were more my sister's age, so I was the youngest, obviously. But yeah, we used to just like play video games and, you know, just do our own thing while our parents all drank and partied and had fun. So that's what we're gonna do. We're probably gonna have my son take his Switch. My nephew has a Switch too, so I might see if my sister will have him bring some Joy-Cons, so then they can like play games together or something. Because we have, technically there's 6 grandkids on my side of the family, like with my parents and my siblings. So I have 2, my brother has 2, my sister has 2. Although my brother's youngest is like still a baby. He's only, I guess he was born in April, so he's about 9 months old, I guess, almost 9 months old. Wow, my suspension's almost broken. I should probably hit this repair thing. But yeah, so he obviously isn't gonna play anything. And then my youngest, you know, like I said, he's almost 3, but he still doesn't really grasp the concept of a controller. He tries to play the PlayStation, and he just doesn't really do very well. Might mute here for a few seconds, so just be prepared for that. I totally lost my train of thought too. That's unfortunate. I don't think I need it. It didn't say I needed anything for this. I didn't visit the area. Alright, sorry, I had to mute for a minute or two. What was I gonna say? I had something else queued up in my brain that I was gonna talk about, and now I don't remember. I believe I mentioned in the previous episode of SnowRunner that I was offered the full-time position at my job, which is great, and I accepted it. So that's exciting. It's not starting until after my cruise, so you know, it'll be February before that actually officially starts, but that's exciting. I do think I did mention that in the previous episode, but if I didn't, there you go. I believe I'm going the right way, aren't I? Yeah. We gotta go this way. We can probably get over that. We're gonna try. I think we can get over it. This truck can pretty much do anything. I am almost done with Odyssey, though. I did the Atlantis DLC first, just because whenever I was cleaning up stuff for the Platinum Trophy, I managed to start the Atlantis quest, which is interesting because one of the quests to start it was one of the additional feats in that DLC trophy list. So like it basically put me into Atlantis, and like I could have gone out of Atlantis and then, you know, done the other DLC first, like the first DLC first, but I was just like, whatever, doesn't really matter. We're here, we'll just do it. So I did Atlantis first. So Atlantis is done. I have 100% trophies in all of that. I have 100% trophies in the additional feats, and then the only trophies I need left are from the first Blade DLC, whatever it is. I think I'm about done with the first episode, and then it should pretty much have all the trophies for me. And then we'll move on and get the other 2 episodes done. My Alright, sorry, I had to pause for a second. Because my oldest son is just, he just like, he goes to sleep and then he wakes up like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and he's like screaming, crying, and he wants me to lay with him on his bed, and I'll lay there with him for a few minutes, and then I'll get up to leave, which is what, you know, it's what we usually always do. Like when we go to bed, we usually, like where it's bedtime, he'll like go lay down, and then I'll usually lay on the bed with him for a couple minutes and then just get up and leave, and then go to bed. So like, you know, but like as soon as I left, he started screaming, crying again, and I was just like, I'm not going back in there. So let's do this. If you know, then my wife went in. She can always get him to like calm down, but I don't know. I don't know if he's done or not, but he just, the problem is he'll say he's scared, and it's just because he watches this, you know, that like backrooms crap on YouTube, and like I've tried everything to keep him from watching that stuff, and he just won't stop watching it. Like, what am I supposed to do? He likes watching it, but then, you know, when he goes to bed, he gets scared, and it's just like, I try to tell him that all that stuff is just made up, none of it's real, it's all in his head, and that when he's in his bed and when he's at home, he's perfectly safe and nothing can happen. But he just, like, I don't know, he's just struggling right now with that. And it's weird because, like, he's had this happen before, but it hasn't lasted, like, nearly as long as it's lasting. Like, he is, like, struggling with it. I went the completely wrong way. Let's see if I can cut through these. And he's in our bed almost every single morning. Like, I'm talking early morning. Like, I'll wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and he's right up against me in the bed. And that's got to stop too, because it's just every single morning both boys are in the bed by like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's just, I just don't understand why they don't stay in their bed. Like, it's not that hard to stay in your own bed. And like, it doesn't matter, we can put them back. Like, you know, we'll be like, you need to go back to your bed. He'll go back to his bed. We'll put the little one back in his bed, and then like within 30 minutes they're back over again. It's just like, it just won't stop. And you can say like, you know, we're not punishing them enough or whatever, and that's just not the case. Like, they go in timeout, they get punished for things, they get stuff taken away, but they just still do it. It's just, being a parent's hard. And, you know, there's no such thing as being a perfect parent. Nobody's kids are perfect. Everybody's kids are gonna act bad, and, you know, whatever. It's just frustrating. But and it's like, he wants to stay up later, but it's like he gets up so early. So it's like, it doesn't matter. He could stay up till 11 o'clock at night. He'll still get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then he'll be so tired and so grumpy all day long. And nobody wants to deal with him when he's like that. He is miserable. So when he gets up early like that, after he stayed up late, we don't let him stay up late. We never let him stay up till 11 o'clock. That was just an example. But like, I mean, he was up on, what, the night before Christmas Eve. My aunt and uncle had a little Christmas party, and just me and him went, because my wife had worked that day, and then she had to work early on Christmas Eve at 6 a.m. So she just stayed home, and she just kept the little one home, so I didn't have to deal with him. But we didn't get home until like 11 o'clock that night, and he stayed awake the whole time. But I mean, he went to bed, but then that morning he was up at like 5:30 in the morning. So it's just like, I just don't understand that. Like, if you stay up late, like, that's the thing people say. Like, our boys usually go to bed by like 7:30, 8 o'clock at the latest. And, you know, like, I've told people that they get up so early, and people are like, well, when do they go to bed? And like, I'll tell them, and they're like, well, why don't you have their bedtime be a little later? And it's like, it doesn't matter. They'll still get up at the same time, and then they'll just be miserable that day because they're so tired because they didn't get enough sleep. How do I get to that? I don't know if I can cross here. I think this is going to be way too deep. Yeah. And I'm stuck now. So I don't really know what the solution is, to be honest. It's just, you gotta work through it, and you gotta stop watching that crap. I tell him that every single day. But I think we're gonna do this job, and then I'm gonna call this episode. At this point, I'm a little frustrated because I wanted to go a little longer with this episode, but dealing with him for those 15 minutes was, just, it's getting late at this point, and I really just kind of want to get this episode done. So I'm gonna return this Mac, and by the time we return this Mac, it's probably gonna be 40 minutes anyways, so it works out. Yeah, there's no way. There might be a path across there, but if I was in a different truck, maybe, but this truck can't do it. It's not gonna. This truck floats, for one, so it would end up floating, and then we would just get stuck. So. Alright, where do I have to go? Over to the garage. Okay, so we need to go this way. Alright, now we know where we're going. this truck's heavy. I know I've mentioned this before, but there's a Mack slash Volvo. I guess it's a factory. I don't really know what it is, but really close to where I live. They were just all recently on strike, like last month. Like October, November, they were on strike. I'm pretty sure it's a union. I don't know what they were on strike for. I assume more pay or something. I don't know. I don't really pay that much attention to the local news. I don't really pay attention to any news, to be honest. I don't care. I live in my own world. And he's calling for me again. Pretty sure he is. It's hard to tell. Yeah, he definitely is. I muted again. My wife ended up going into his room again, talking to him, but he's just like being hysterical at this point, so I was gonna go in there, but I was trying to finish this first, so. So she agrees with me, though, that he's being ridiculous. So. Alright, there we go. Now we got the Mac. Alright, so we're going to end this episode here. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed. Next episode, hopefully we'll be back at the wheel. Hopefully we'll get back on schedule, on track, and everything. But we'll see how that all goes. You know, obviously my son is still off school all week, so it's just harder to get recorded episodes done during the day, and then I have to kind of rely on doing it at night, and sometimes it just doesn't work out at night because, you know, just it gets too late or whatever, so. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you in the next episode. Have a good one.